everybody. Uh, yeah, hi. All right, this is Fireside Chats. I'm not by the fire. I mean, I can see my little cute fake fireplace, but it just wasn't the right setup. It just wasn't working. So here we are in my living room. Yeah, which is even better. I'm gonna come on and just share some maybe nuggets of wisdom that will help you to tune back into the heart center, tune back into love, tune back into what might be needed right now for the nervous system versus letting yourself get caught up in the stress of the current environment. It is stressful. Like, I don't want to discount that at all either. However, there are moments in which we can regulate our nervous system so that we can maintain for ourselves, for our families, for the communities that need us to show up. But let's take some breaths together first. So, wherever you are, maybe just close your eyes or just find the gaze on the floor to reduce the stimulation from the eyes. And then just start to become in the present moment. So, whatever that means, like, don't overthink this. It's whatever it is calling to you right now. Just center your heart space, center your body if you're driving. Keep listening, but don't close your eyes. And then just start to be aware of the body and time and space right now, whatever that means to you. There's no right way or wrong way of being. Can you imagine? Yeah. So I wanted to share a few nuggets. I'm taking this incredible training with Tracy Stanley and Dr. Chanti, and it's so great on Yoga Nidra. And whew, what a way to ground the body. Like, what a way to ground the body. And it reminded me of like, this, obviously this time is very difficult, very divisive. Yeah. But what you're seeing on the news, and I'll say this 1,000 times, is to get your nervous system to be divided with others. Because the opposite of that is too powerful for this time, right? You're seeing it in Minneapolis where tons and tons of people are coming together. I mean, the power of that is incredible, right? But some of that is hard for the nervous system. Some of that is really, really difficult. Stimulus is very difficult for the nervous system. So within this training that I'm taking, aside from just like the beauty of it and the people coming together, and the beauty of the brown and black bodies, just as part of the training in and of itself is beautiful. But there's a few folks in there that are from Minneapolis and are that are talking about this time, and their message is like, it's worse than what you're seeing on the news. Like, they're like, think about it times 10, right? So can you imagine, like, even anyone going to the grocery store is being followed, like followed, right? So their space is being invaded, their nervous system is being invaded, the urgency in which they're called to be a part of the world right now is being invaded. That's some fucking crazy shit. Okay. So that is happening, right? And in between that, what is happening is those folks are still showing up to trainings like a yoga nidra training in which it talks about and grounds the body and the nervous system to be able to continue to do the work that they do and to connect with others. And a quote of one of the women said yesterday just floored me, was like, there's such moments, even though this is so hard right now, there is just these cracks of beautiful moments in which people are showing up in just droves of community. and people, I'm just crying even talking about it. And that she's able to show up to something like a yoga nidra training and be with other people in community, and that there is this moment in between in which you can ground yourself and have moments of presence in this level of chaos. So that's what I want you to be looking for as you're engaging with the world right now. um and yeah, and then we got on to talking about dancing and movement and breath, and like how that level of energy can be possible with those moments of gorgeous beauty. Like I was, as she was talking, it was reminding me of like this sea of people with just diamonds dropped in, right? The sparkles that are showing up in between those moments of power that can show up amongst this level of chaos, right? So just keep all that in mind. And then just a few other things I want to touch on today, because I know your nervous systems are taxed. I can't even talk for very long because you will not take it in, right? All right, and then there's my shirt that's like Black History Month, right? Like what? Let's switch to that for a second, and then I'll go back to tending your nervous system. I like stop celebrating Black History, not in the way of like I stopped celebrating Black people and the history of us, right? I honor that every day. I honor that in the way of my child. I honor that in the way of honoring my ancestors. I honor that in the way that I move about the world, because like I don't know who else to embody right now, but like Rosa Parks and all those folks that were activists back then, because they figured it out. They had a way of doing it, right? So I embody them every single day. But this whole idea of the 28 days or whatever, 29 days of like Black history is long gone, like beyond my. And what was happening was like people were asking people of color to show up and speak and organize and do all these things to celebrate Black History Month, in which then taxed their nervous systems, and they weren't even getting paid. So, right, I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that a long time ago. But also, like as the shirt says, it's all of our histories, and it needs to be honored all the time, every day. Like these snippets of things are, and I get the idea, and I get the whole thing, and the ways in which it was designed to celebrate cultures and history and Frederick Douglass, and like I know the history and the lineage in which all of these ideas were born. Not I'm not saying that's bad. I am saying it's our responsibility to do it every day. And like cool for Black History Month. I don't know. I'm just gonna say not cool. Let's do this event for Black. No, like I'm over it. Anyway, that's like a sidebar because it's February. Let's go back to tending the nervous system. Um, yeah. So a lot of what we talked about also in the yoga nidra training was around, and this is just ideas that I've always known, but like this training has just helped me to put it into like, oh, right, there's meaning to what I've been doing for the past 10 years. Um, how do we tend to ourselves? So if you are with me either now or watching this another time, maybe just take a piece of paper and just scrap down like how are you tending to yourself? So this is not like self-care. So I want you to notice the difference between how your body feels when I say, how do you tend to yourself versus let's do some self-care. Okay? Get rid of self-care altogether. We're not getting our nails done. I mean, if you want to get your nails done, cool. Tending to yourself is very, very different. So asking your nervous system, how do you tend to the body? What do you need in a moment? How do you tend to the space that you're in? How do you tend to the energy of your body? How do you tend to who you are? How do you tend to what you need? Yeah. And that will determine how you make choices that are different. So sit with that for a second and just let the body take it in. Just reflect for a moment, like when I say, what does it mean to tend to the body? How can you tend to it more? What do you need to do or engage in? And then how do you tend to the space that the body is in? Now, that can be the physical body, or it could be the home that you're in, right? How do you tend to that more? Right? And there's no wrong answer, there's no right answer. And then before we close, I want to talk a little bit about urgency and the stimulus of activism. So our nervous systems are not really born for like this level of stimulus or this level of urgency. That doesn't mean there's not urgency right now. I know this gets confusing, and it doesn't mean we don't understand that things have to happen now and that harm is happening and that response to harm is needed. What I want you to understand is that how you engage with that has everything to do with how you tend to your well-being during this time. This dominant culture is expecting you not to engage with the tending. It's looking to tax you out so that you are so gassed. You're so, I don't know, just exhausted from the continual urgency of needing to be in this space of activism, to fight, to do all the stuff. Both can be true at the same time. You can engage in activism in a way that is safe for your nervous system. But if you're doing it as a response that does not feel good, as a reaction that just gets the body going without a plan of tending back to that body so that you can get engage, become grounded, become soft, and then re-engage when it feels okay. Otherwise, y'all, we're just engaging in the dominant culture in which it's looking to take you down. And the only thing that will do is make you physically sick. I need you well. We need each other. Like there's no other way to say this is in that we need each other. We need each other's energy, we need each other's beauty, we need each other's love. And this concept of neighbors coming out around, I don't know, I see it on social media, like love your neighbor, whatever. There are some things in which people are talking about which are true in that like years ago, like politics and all of this, like we're gonna think differently. We're gonna have different, based on our locations in our body, based on our ancestry, based on our history, based on our knowledge of white privilege and white supremacy. That will determine sort of how we locate ourselves in politics. However, there was an idea years and years ago that even if we had a difference of thought, that love thy neighbor was still something that people engaged in. It was still something that people would rescue, right? Way back even in slavery, so people would show up. Did they have different politics? Absolutely. But hurt my neighbor, fuck, I'm gonna come after you. Right? Like there was protection. There was protection in community. We've lost that. But not surprisingly so. I mean, the dominant culture has done a very good job of dividing people of color and dividing white folks and dividing people who think differently than each other and have located that in politics and administration and harm over. Again, this is not surprising. This was coming. This has been here. This is not new, right? If we know anything from history, particularly Black history, this is not, these ways of being are not new. However, coming back to tending, there is a way in which you need to tend to yourself first before you do anything else, right? And then find ways in which activism works for you, right? So there's people that sing that, I mean, singing has become part of my daily routine. I mean, it's become part of my, it's just part of it. Yeah. There's singing groups popping up all over the place. Like, if, like, go sing, like, be in community, but tend to yourself first. And then figure out how to connect with other people where you don't have to guess, how they make you feel. You just know. Your nervous system just knows that you're safe with that person. You can connect with that person, right? There's days in which, if you're a person of color, you cannot tolerate being around white people because it's too hard to maintain that level of safety in your brain. That's okay. That's absolutely okay, right? But there are white people out there that are my dearest friends in the world and that I can be with, and I know that they fucking got me no matter what. And there are days in which I am like, I need to sit down with a person of color and I need to cry and do what I need to do because they're not going to have to second guess what I'm saying. They know it. It's just, and that's me, right? So, but think about that in the way for your nervous system and how it is that you navigate and be in the world. Right? And our nervous systems are not, I've said this already, I'm gonna say it again. They're not born for urgency. They're not born to like be in this hustle of urgency. So when like the best way I could describe it is when I'm in a grocery store, like I can't like everyone's in that level of urgency. It's like you can feel the whole world within the grocery store. Or I don't know, stores. I don't know. Um So again, not both can be true. Not to say there isn't an urgent moment right now to help people to heal them, to be in activism, to call senators, to get angry like that. That is the moment that's happening right now. And you can't do it from a place of unwell or unrest. Having said that, I will talk a little bit about February 8th, in which we are doing a rest as resistance uh, workshop, I guess. I don't know. Come nap. Come be in the nap ministry principles at the Cordial Eye on February 8th. That's a Sunday at 11 in the morning. I'll be leading that with Lindsay and some other folks just to help your nervous system rest. I'll pop on another time and talk more in detail about what that will look like. Again, because I don't want to tax your nervous system out right this second. You've heard enough. Deep breaths, my loves. Continue to be in community. Continue to find love. Continue to find ways in which you can engage with love. Like, and let activism be a form of love. If you, there's reason to be angry. I mean, fuck. There's lots of reasons to be angry right now. I mean, lots, right? When people are harmed, when there's racism, your heart is broken. That anger is a form of protection. Come from the place of love. But you can slow it down. You can slow activism down. There's gonna be plenty to do. Don't you worry. We ain't. We're in like the beginning of this shit, y'all. It's just. I know it's not funny, but like it's. I have to laugh a little just because, like, God, it's just a form of getting shit out of my body. Anyway, I love you. Be well. I'm gonna try to pop on a Sunday if I can. Again, this is all dependent on my nervous system, whether I'm able to be in front of a screen or not and share information. I have to check in with if that's okay with me or not. So I'm trying to put like a time frame on this of like doing it once a week, but I can only engage when it works for my body. So I was trying to do it Sunday nights, but that won't work in from my body. I was done. So I will make sure to post when that week, when if I can figure out when my body wants to do this. And if it doesn't, it'll be another time. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you soon.